There are some things we may occasionally forget. This becomes evident all the more as the years dance by with a tempo that only seems to quicken. This morning, I was reminded quite vividly that there are some things I no longer possess. This physical body is becoming a bit less able in the physical department. Dawn saw me casting off my kayak into the intercoastal waterway just east of Freeport. The wind was reading 12 miles an hour when I left the house, but the ferocious white caps were telling a different story, and the wind speed was far closer to 20 miles per hour. This is not an issue for the many powered craft on the water, but the lacking horsepower in my triceps and common sense were all sounding their warnings. Such waters would have challenged me 2 decades removed. Yet, while strength and stamina may have been degraded by time, my stubborn nature had not. So off I went, grunting and straining with every row and swinging with the surf so as not to be swamped by an angry wave. All the while my common sense was fighting my stubbornness in Napoleonic fashion as the battle line swung back and forth. After running a gauntlet of tugs, barges, and all manner of other craft, I found myself nearly at the limit of my control as the mariner's wake, along with the pre-existing white caps, threatened to smash me mercilessly into the rocks. Here my paddle was used far more for steerage than propelling. And that's when common sense broke the lines of stubbornness, and I began the short yet arduous trek back to the launch, praying for a clear shipping lane. And so I made my paddle of shame back into the enclave housing the launch in front of the many fishermen lining the banks who'd seen every second of my struggle with nature and my own nature. When I finally wrangled the craft ashore, I was met with cheers, as apparently it had been quite the spectacle. One gentleman even jovially referred to me as Gringo Loco. Surprisingly, this is not the first time I've heard this. An old-timer with sun-parched skin approached as I loaded the boat. He seemed to know a play-by-play of my thought process as he patted me on the shoulder and understandingly said, "Not anymore, partner." While it is a bit vexing to recall the abilities once possessed, to recall ourselves strapping, adventurous, and fearless, hindsight may more likely call it big, dumb, and reckless. There was a time where I would have made the entire 12-mile trek I'd intended, or capsized trying. Yet that is neither of bravery nor of brains. For while the years have degraded some facets of my youth, it has served to sharpen others that were once dull. To discern that the journey was the trek of a headstrong fool is likewise a gift. To possess the wisdom to turn around, though the flesh wishes to proceed upon its venture, and the ability to discern that some obstacles are overcome by confrontation and others by avoidance are prime abilities that have come with age. Indeed, I wish I could possess the discernment of the present with the strength and vigor of my youth, and yet wisdom reminds me to give thanks for the strength I still possess, for the journeys I can still complete, and for the sense to desist in those that I can't. The Lord will indeed use all things to teach and fashion us. So the next time the whitecaps ahead cause you to take pause, allow them to and yield if necessary. At times, the Lord may call us to recognize the hazard ahead and others. He may call us into the waters and grant mastery over the waves, that they might be used to propel us along the tributaries of His sovereign will.